Hello students, welcome to this channel. Thank you so much for choosing me. My name is Teacher Miriam Nafula. You can call me Teacher Nafula. So in this video, I am going to take you straight away on the analysis of the play The Samaritan by John Lara. I know you are already familiar with this play. So, first and foremost, what does Act 1, Scene 1 of The Samaritan entail? I start off by mentioning the characters in Act 1, Scene 1. To begin with, we have the principal, known as Madam Principal, Miss Narine. We have the deputy principal, Kamona. We have teachers present, we have members of the board, and we have the chairman of the board, Mr. Piro. We have visitors in Act 1, Honorable Mosi. You know him as the smoke that thunders, Mosi Oetunya. His deputy, Honorable Ramdai. The students, without forgetting their teacher, the ethics and innovation teacher, Miss Nicole, and we have Alvita and Montana. So let's go straight to our analysis. So the Samaritan, that is according to Act 1, it is an app. And from the word Samaritan, we understand it is biblical. You know the deeds of the Good Samaritan. Now, what is this app all about? Let's hold on that. So, in Act 1, we are introduced to the year's innovation, the secondary school competition, and the award is won by students from Sagrada Secondary School. That is Montana and Alvita. So on this day, we have visitors at Sagrada Secondary School. And you know very well, Honorable Mosi, his deputy, Honorable Ramdai, and others are invited to the school to come and help with the launching of this new innovation. So, the principal, the deputy, and the teachers really welcome the visitors. They are very courteous, they are very welcoming. The students are happy about this. But something happens. The guest of honor, Honorable Mosi, the smoke that thunders, refuses to launch the innovation. The students are not awarded during this launch. And he's actually insisting that Miss Nicole, the teacher of ethics and innovation, should go ahead and write a letter to stop the innovation, or rather to cancel the app. So when we started reading Act 1, Scene 1, we were optimistic, we were happy, but something happens and nobody understands it. So let's ask ourselves this question. Why is Honorable Mosi against the launch of this app? What has he just discovered? You would even ask yourself, if at all he knew that this event was not what he anticipated or would affect his career, he wouldn't have come. It's kind of a disappointment. So this really brings about the, you see, the poor governance. You see, leaders don't want to bring change in the society, and they want to make sure they bring down any good that try to come out. So, Honorable Mosi insists that, come what may, Miss Nicole should find a way and make sure that she writes a letter to cancel the innovation. So this brings us to the character traits. Yeah. In this scene one, these two students, Alvita and Montana, travel into the future. But there are two things about them. One student is optimistic, while the other is pessimistic. So, why is Montano pessimistic? When he travels into the future, there are things that he brings about. He says he sees Montano with a running nose. You know how a running nose can be. So when when he has the running nose, it seems like he has some drams of fluids in his head, which means this was a non-stop running nose. And this is a sorry state. Again, he says that there was some awful smell in the city with not enough clean water. Also, he mentions the state of climate change and food was scarce due to unpredictable weather changes. Until people adapted into eating bizarre things like plastics, yeah, things like those. Also, the life expectancy had changed and it had dropped drastically, and people were just living up to 30 and 40 years. So that is a very low life expectancy. Crime cases increased, and there were so many gangs in the society, and the law enforcers could only serve those who greased their hands. At the very beginning of it all, in this future that Montano travels in as a pessimist, he mentions Alvita as a cobbler, and you know very well that being a cobbler is not an easy job. It doesn't pay so much. You see, he mentions so many graduates in the streets who are rendered jobless, or rather who are jobless. So this future is hopeless. Alvita is very optimistic. So let's discuss how he was optimistic. First and foremost, he talks about technology. We now have robots doing professional jobs or taking over the professional jobs and doing them better and serving better. Also, there are drugs which have been developed to regenerate body cells, which means the life expectancy is much better or higher. And without forgetting the technology of cleaning air of the carbon emissions. The two students go ahead and discuss the innovation, the app in which the problems will be solved. This innovation was won in this year's secondary schools innovation competition. Now, let's get to know what the innovation is about, or what the app is about. Alvita explains that the app is simply an application on a mobile phone. And just like any other app on a phone or on a mobile phone, you can send videos, photos, text messages, or share any information. So on this app, every member of parliament will simply need a pigeonhole where he will be sent messages or notifications. And Members of the public will communicate all this in this app. Honorable Mosi is fully aware that in the case this app is launched, it is going to affect his political career. Remember, the members of the public are going to send information on this platform. Anything that discontents them will be sent here, and these members of the parliament or leaders will be exposed or will be forced to be answerable. So they're trying to do away with such like things. So Honorable Mosi, when he came into the launch, he was very curious. He was anxious. Yeah. I don't know what changed on the realization. And he even jokes that the other day, the media just spread the news that he had died, that he had swallowed a toothpick and ended up dying. So, in other words, he's just trying to say that there is no way the public is going to send real information, or how do we verify fake news and real news? I'm glad that you have been listening to me, and I hope you have enjoyed. So, such instances actually brings about thematic concerns such as hypocrisy. You see, Honorable Ramdai is against the launching of the app. Then we have another theme such as unemployment. Remember when Montano says that in this future, in the future that he had traveled in, there was no employment. There were youths in the streets who were jobless, and you see the job that is mentioned here is just of being a cobbler, it doesn't have enough of the pennies. Then another concern is corruption. Then we have lawlessness, or what we say, anarchy. There are gangs in the streets, and there is no, people don't care about the laws and regulations here. We have come to the end of this lesson. I trust you have enjoyed listening to me. I do trust also that you have learned from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to meet you again in my next video. See you in the next class. Bye.